Hi, everybody. Welcome back to The Trend. I'm your host, Jay, here again with Ramon. Ramon had a fun skiing trip over this past weekend, so he wasn't here on the last podcast, but now he is here now. And today we're going to be talking about some influencer marketing strategies from Barstool and from Mayor Mike Bloomberg.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Jake. We're here on Valentine's Day chatting about presidential candidates in Barstool. So I was off for last week. Not such a fun trip. Kind of messed that one up, broke a few bones, but we're here to talk about Mr. Bloomberg and Barstool Sports priorities.
Cool. Let's get into it. So let's start talking, I guess, first. We'll cover the Barstool one because I feel like that's the one a lot more people are talking about. And it's about to wrap up. So we'll go ahead and cover that one first, and then we'll jump into the Bloomberg thing. So for those of you that don't know, I think it was about a week ago, this guy Dana that works at Barstool, he's a content editor, basically tweeted about drinking a zillion beers at work while he was working. And the leader of Barstool, Dave Portnoy, basically was like, you can't be doing that, you can't be drinking that, and he gave him a lot of shit for it. And the guy basically came back and was like, I don't want you to keep giving me shit for it. And he was like, if I sell merch, then you can't give me shit for it again. So it kind of got into a little bit of a betting competition. I know he passed the first goal, and basically the goal was for him to, I think, what was it, reach like 50,000 sales or something like that?
30,000 on the first
30,000, that's right, 30,000. And he basically was going to receive a part of that in cash, essentially.
I mean, he gave him shit, in all fairness, right?
Yeah.
Like, what job can you just sit around and drink beer all day and tell your boss, stop giving me shit, unless you can make him that much money?
Only on Barstool.
Yeah.
And what's crazier, so he took that and then he decided to double down and say, basically, if I make it to $1 million in sales, then you got to give me $100,000. So now the race is on. He's supposed to reach $1 million by this Sunday. So by the time this episode is out, we will know the answer whether or not he's reached there. I think he's at about $720,000 in sales as of this morning.
Yesterday, as of 3:47 p.m., they were at 640,000. And we were chatting about this earlier offline. Like, you know, he is leveraging the Barstool network, but at the same time, he's also doing all this stuff that anyone could do and nobody's doing, and he was really just doing the basics. Like, he really is the definition. What he's doing is the definition of how to do anything in order to make it go viral, and that is just, you know, there is no such thing as too much posting. And there are a few people out there in the world that really get this, that are masters of PR. Like, you know, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, Donald Trump, this guy, like another one, Grant Cardone. Like, for example, these people are posting or tweeting literally every 2 minutes, every 10 minutes. They're posting 5-10 times a day. And the psychology behind this is, you know, most people will be like, I don't want to post too much because I'm going to annoy, you know, my audience. But whoever unfollows you because you're posting too much was never going to commit to following you into the first place. They were never going to be a buyer of whatever you have. They were never a fan. So you're actually weeding out the ones that weren't there to engage with you in the first place, and instead you're creating super fans.
Yeah, that's a really cool way of looking at it. And, you know, it's crazy just how much stuff has been produced, and he's really just doing a little bit of everything. I mean, he's interacting with his audience. I saw one of his tweets. He basically took, I think someone tweeted him a shirt design. He took that shirt design and put it up on the store to sell the shirt. So,
I mean, yeah, that's it. I'm a really, I mean, you know this, Jay. One of our culture values is speed over everything. And, you know, I think trying to have everything perfect and nailed out is probably the number one reason why most brands don't really get to scale because you need the perfect studio, you need the right cameras. I mean, right now we have here $10 tripods, and it's Jay's phone and my phone to record this. And yes, this is a really nice studio, thankfully, because of our facilities. But first episodes we had out, there was no intro music. I don't think we even had cuts. So it's about, executing with speed. And he's really shown that, being consistency beats quality. And I think you can blend both. So you cannot know what quality is without consistency. So consistency, once you're really consistent and repetitive, you can then study what works, what sticks, and what doesn't, and then weed out what doesn't and keep the consistency. You can't know what works and what is quality without consistency.
Yeah, you definitely need to be able to test stuff. And that's the same marketing principles that are true on basically any other type of marketing, which is you want to throw a bunch of things out there, see what sticks with your audience, and then just continue to end up scaling that specific piece and doing more of those actions.
So you want to do a zillion followers for 10 grand?
We should buy some of his merch because he's been retweeting every single person that's been buying merch.
I think it's epic.
We should buy some merch and then put in the zillion followers thing and have him retweet it out.
That's hilarious. What if he was the first guest at the trend?
That'd be great. Yeah. I don't know if we'll be able to land him, but we can give it a shot and reach out. Maybe he'll give us, by him being here, he can give us a zillion followers.
He's probably already spent all the money on beers, I guess, that he's had.
Yeah, he hasn't been paid out yet, so...
He says like, I'll do my work. Like, I can actually work on beer. And it's funny because I go to happy hour. If I go to a happy hour after work for a beer, I'm actually dead after just a few beers. So I guess when your job is just sitting down, live streaming and talking shit, I guess you can have as many beers as you want.
Yeah, I mean, he's crushing it. I mean, he even said on one of the podcast episodes that he was on for Barstool, was talking about how all these new people have come in after him or even before him, but no one's been able to amass a following as quickly as he has from this Zillion Beers thing.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's pretty sick. I guess we'll see by Sunday what happens. I mean, regardless of what happens, that's pretty epic,
Yeah, it is. And I mean, even brands are now hopping on to what he's doing. I've seen a couple of brands go in and buy product from his store and have people, because they want the retweet, obviously. Yeah. So they want to get that media. So they've been buying product. I saw one brand spent like $5,000 and got retweeted by him. Oh, yeah,
I saw that.
So it's pretty crazy. I mean, people are hopping on the train, and it's obviously probably a lot cheaper to get those impressions than getting him from somewhere else.
Yes, and that is the magic of it all. If like the fact that he's retweeting every single purchase, this is marketing 101. Like, none of this is, something learned over experience or years. This guy knows nothing about marketing. He just gets it. The people that get PR and marketing on that level get psychology and get the human behavior and the consumer behavior more than anything else. And this is a great example of the network effects, right? Like, he had, I don't know how many thousand followers, probably like 3,000 followers when he started doing this. He tweeted, and then somebody was like, all right, he's tweeting the purchases. I'm going to buy some too. So he tweets me out. And then it's the network effects. As he's getting more followers, more people want to purchase because now his audience is worth more and bigger. So it just keeps snowballing from there.
Yeah. I mean, true snowball effect. It's crazy what's going on. So let's go ahead and jump into...
That's user-generated content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go ahead and jump into our other topic since I know we have about 10 minutes left. Let's talk about another thing of influencer marketing, but this time on the political scope with Mike Bloomberg. So I don't know if you've seen, I guess we kind of shared some of these in our company message channel earlier this week, talking about how Mike Bloomberg has been working with Jerry Media, the creators of Fuck Jerry, and basically getting them to post on meme pages, him having these fake photoshopped conversations with the meme pages and getting them to post that content to try and reach a younger demographic. I mean, it's crazy. It's unheard of. No other politician has ever done something like this.
And well, I mean, apparently, Donald Trump hired a full-on social media agency that apparently was one of the biggest contributors for him winning. But I just think this is so hilarious. I couldn't think how much fun it would be to just this was your work. To just sit down and come up with all this shit. It's just absolutely hilarious. I wish I had more time to sit down and think of stuff like this. And I've done some side projects on the side that have been pretty hilarious around this scope. But this one from Mike Bloomberg just absolutely is probably one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. So the way this works is that basically they're photoshopping images where Mike Bloomberg messages a viral a meme account and is like, hey, can you post an image of me to make me go viral? And I'm gonna read out some examples here. So here's Bloomberg messaging an account named Sunny Side Up, and he says, hello, Mr. Side Up, can you make a viral meme to let the younger demographic know I'm the cool candidate? And it's just him showing his friends a YouTube video of sick tech deck tricks, volume 14. And Mike Bloomberg goes, I don't get it. Do you promise this is very viral? And then the other one is Grape Juicy Voice. Mike Bloomberg messages them, hello, Juicy Boys. Can you make a original meme to make me look cool for the upcoming Democratic Party? I don't think so. To be honest, your vibe is kind of off. And he said, I put Lamborghini doors on the Escalade. And then the Grape Juice Boy says, what?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's pretty funny. Yeah, there's this one that I pulled up right here that's message to a kale salad. That's the name of the meme account. Hello, Mr. Salad. Can you post this meme to make me seem cool for the upcoming Democratic primary? And it says, Michael Bloomberg is like kale salad, tough and tasteless, but ultimately good for you. And the guy says, it's IDK, it's not that funny. Mike Bloomberg says, I'll give you $1 billion. The guy's like, what do you want the caption to be? I mean, it's crazy. It's pretty funny. And actually, I'm reading this article right now that I just pulled up. Facebook has actually commented on this stuff.
What? The actual Facebook account?
No, the story.
Oh, really?
So they've been commenting on the story. And so basically what's come of it is Facebook said it will allow U.S. political candidates to sponsor branded content on Instagram as long as they can follow certain guidelines that brands currently have to adhere to.
That's wild. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what they're doing here. I mean, it's just new age advertising. But this one, I'll mention this last one. This one is my favorite one. So he messages his account called Moist Buddha, and he says, hello, Mr. Buddha. Can you post a viral image of me to your account? And the account says, what do you mean by viral image? And he says, do you remember the ice bucket challenge? And he says, yeah, something like that, but it's just a photo of me. Who comes up with all this shit, honestly?
Yeah, I mean, it's really good. The content is really good. I mean, I think it was, I don't remember if it was when they originally came out, but I was scrolling through my Instagram feed and I came across one account, Grape Juice Boys that I follow.
Yeah.
And I saw this Mike Bloomberg conversation. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Trump also has his way of doing all this stuff where he calls Mike Bloomberg Mini Mike on Twitter, and that's all he does. And it's weird that this is what works. It engraves in people's minds, and rather than just talking about them and what they're great at, sometimes this type of marketing works. And one of the best people at this type of marketing is Kanye West. He is the king of really understanding human behavior and psychology in this way. I guess it's about being everywhere as much as possible, as frequently as possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. It'll be interesting now, I guess, to see how this ends up playing out at the next primary, whether, he gets more votes overall or whether this kind of marketing is only really working with younger audiences or where that kind of break happens.
Yeah.
Because obviously he spent, I don't know how much money, but he spent a ton of money on this. Apparently, I read the other day that he spent 8 times more as much as Trump has in terms of advertising. So he spent a ton of money on advertising. So
well, he's got a ton of money.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this plays out and whether, you know, he ends up getting more votes, whether it's from people total just because they heard about him through this story, or whether he really gets a really nice kick from a younger audience.
So have you ever looked up what his net worth is?
I haven't, but I know it's in the billions, right?
61 billion, 61.8 billion. That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's a lot of money. A zillion memes from Mike Bloomberg.
A zillion memes from Mike Bloomberg, yeah.
Well, now we just got to get creative enough and see how to get this to work for Trend.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So the next primary is on the 22nd in Nevada. So we'll follow up next time.
We got 2 big dates. We got Sunday for Zillion beers, and then the primaries for Mike Bloomberg. Trend is not going to have an opinion on what will happen on the primaries, but what are your thoughts on what's going to happen on Sunday? Do you think he's going to hit the million, or do you think he's not? It's Friday.
I think he's going to crush it. I think if he's already at Portnoy tweeted that he's like at 720,000, I think, this morning.
Let's give a live status. So Portnoy.
Yeah, Portnoy's been tweeting about it pretty much every single day on how much he's getting. But I mean, when he gets close to when it gets up to 800,000, 900,000,
he's at 720K 4 hours ago. Yeah.
Yeah. So Portnoy said he's at 720. I think once he gets up to 8 and 9, I think he's going to go even higher than a million, because you know, you're going to have so many people that are like, I want to be in on this trend. Like, I want to be retweeted. And he's doing some crazy things. And it's not even just retweeting people's names. He's like, I think someone said, hey, say Travis Kelce is better than Rob Gronkowski, and I'll buy something from Zillion beers. So it's pretty crazy. But
so just if you want to keep up, his Twitter is at Dana B_3.
Yeah.
And ours is at trend _IO.
Yeah.
Right? At trend _IO. So give us a follow. We'll be there. We tweet out every podcast episode. We also share it on LinkedIn every time one goes live. You can also find us on Spotify, iTunes, right?
Yeah. Wherever you listen to your podcasts, YouTube and IGTV. So that's this for this episode today. We'll be back with some updates in the next few days, or next time, actually, hopefully, at least on the Zillion Beers thing. And then the time after that, we'll check out how the primaries went and take a look at what happened to Mike Bloomberg.
Sweet. Have a good day.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody.